This program is brought to you by Windhoek Draught, proud supporters of Namibia Rugby. "2014 has been one of the most dramatic in the short history of Namibian rugby. In July, the team qualified for the 2015 Rugby World Cup, a fifth time the small rugby nation has managed to do so. And there was no letting off towards the end of the year. In October, Namibia defeated Germany in the Windhoek Draught International in the Namibian capital, followed by a three-match Northern Hemisphere tour. The Windhoek Draught Northern Hemisphere tour kicked off on the 6th of November in the North Wales city of Colwyn Bay. Then it would be across the English Channel to Toulon in France for a much-anticipated meeting with the French Barbarians before the team travelled to Lisbon for a test match against Portugal. Five days after their 58-20 win over Germany in Windhoek, the Namibian team boarded their national carrier, Air Namibia, who flew the team from Windhoek to Frankfurt, from where they travelled to Manchester in England, and after a short bus trip arrived in Colwyn Bay in North Wales. Colwyn Bay is not well known as a rugby destination, but over the last number of years it has established itself as a new rugby development centre in North Wales. It's home to the famous Victoria Pier and birthplace of Timothy Dalton, a former James Bond actor. Overlooking the Irish Sea, Colwyn Bay's weather this time of the year was something the Namibians would not be used to. And after a day's training in driving rain, the team headed indoors to continue their preparations for the test match against Canada in the very impressive indoor facilities at Park Eras. The first training in Wales also resulted in the first casualty. Tinus du Plessis injured his calf and would play no further part in the tour, but at least the team welcomed back Jacques Burger, arguably Namibia's highest profile player. The Saracens' loose forward's last appearance for Namibia was 3 years ago at the Rugby World Cup in New Zealand.
Been out for a couple of years, straight after the World Cup, had a serious injury. I was out for 2 years and had a full season last year and didn't quite manage to hook up with the team and play any international. So it's exciting to be back. It's great to be captain. It's a big honour to be captain of my country. And it's good to see all the boys. You know, it's good to see all the old faces and a couple of new ones. And we're really excited to get going for on Friday night against Canada. I think there's obviously a lot of new faces. A couple of young guys looking ahead in the World Cup. We still have some time to kind of develop a couple of young players into certain positions. A couple of old faces, guys who've been here for a while. In terms of the way we play, it's hard to say really. I've not really been involved, like I said, in the last year or so in any international games. So it'll be interesting starting on Friday night and getting a full game under the belt with the boys to see how we go and how we have developed as a rugby side. And we obviously know the World Cup's going to be really tough, and it'd be good to see what our progress has been and how we can get better in terms of the way we play. It's been a great experience over there in Saracens, and I've learned a lot and I've grown up a lot. And I think it's good when you come over here. It's just to kind of spread the wisdom, things that you've learned yourself, that people have taught you that you didn't know a couple of years ago, and just kind of give it back to the guys who are not involved in that environments, in professional environments, and where they can learn these things. And I think that makes a big difference in the way we play and the way we prepare for games. It's exciting to be. I've been part of 2 World Cups so far, and it's incredible. You know, I know how tough it is, but it's a great experience, especially for the guys who amateur guys who work from 8 till 5 every day, and they get the opportunity to play against the best players in the world. I think it'll be an incredible experience.
So to Park Eras in Colwyn Bay on a cold and rainy Friday night for only the second ever test between these two countries. The last was at the 1999 Rugby World Cup. Namibia's foreign-based players, especially Aviva Premiership regulars Burger and Kusanda Botha, would be key to their performance, while Canada would rely heavily on the experience of their European-based players, London Irish forward Jeb Sinclair, Glasgow Warriors fly-half Conor Braid, Ospreys wing Jeff Hasler and Glasgow Warriors fullback DTH van der Merwe. And it was the Canadians who launched the early attacks, driving down the right flank. And referee Stuart Berry of South Africa awarding the penalty to Canada for offside by Namibia. And Gordon McGrory opening the scoring for the Canadians. He plays for Calgary Hornets and is from Calgary in Alberta. Into the line out from Torsten van Jaarsveld for Namibia. It goes left from Ryan Delaharp. Good strong driving up the middle by Namibia. But the whistle, Casper Verveer and Rowan Kitsoff penalised there. And another penalty to the Canadians. From 50 metres out, beautifully struck. No problem at all for Gordon McCrory. So Canada an early 6-0 lead. Namibia, great scrum position in the 22. It comes off the back from PJ van Lille. Going right through Ryan Delaharp, good support play. Ball's available for Namibia, hands all over the ball. And it'll be a penalty to Namibia. So first chance for Namibia to put points on the board. And Dean Skotzer makes it 6-3. Holding their own are the Namibians against Canada, who are also, like Namibia, regular World Cup qualifiers. Now the drive towards the goal line for Canada, who've advanced their cause. They lead by 12 points to 6 now. And spreading it out wide, a chance out wide for Ray Barkle. He lets it go, and it's Naik Dalla who goes over in the corner for Canada. Quick through the hands and exploiting the numbers outright. And a good try that gives Canada a 17 points to 6 lead. Now Namibia, this is where their strength is, up front in the forwards. Can they drive this from the 5-metre line out? This is good work edging towards the touchline, but breaking away is Jacques Burger, and he goes over for the try, and a very important score there for Namibia. They weren't able to capitalise. A 4-point win for Canada, but a really fine performance by the Namibians.
I'm proud of the boys. We didn't have a long time to prepare for this game. Got together, and the boys showed a lot of heart and a lot to learn from this performance. And still a lot of mistakes we made, especially with our discipline. But there's a lot to look forward to, and we'll work on it and we'll get better. No excuses. We were beaten today by a better team. But like I said, I'm very excited for what's going to come ahead, and to get on this, fix our mistakes and get better as a team, and hopefully put on a better performance next time.
Needless to say, the Namibians were a disappointed and dejected bunch in their dressing room after the narrow loss. It was a match Namibia could and should have won, but still a performance to take a lot from, as Canada had been ranked 2 places higher than Namibia on World Rugby's rankings. The match also saw the second appearance for Chewy Univi and a first cap for Franklin Bertolini.
I think Canada didn't expect it from us, and I think we gained a lot of respect today, not just from Canada, but from people that watch the game.
I was really excited to play my first game and to start, and really it's more of an effort from the boys. We played good today, but we just couldn't stick it to the end, but great performance from the boys.
From Wales to Toulon, home of the European and French top 14 champions, from meeting with the French barbarians. Toulon is situated on the Côte d'Azur, or the French Riviera, and is 70 kilometres east of Marseille, major commercial and French naval port. But it is for a strong rugby background that Toulon is better known these days. While the other big countries were involved in a massive battle to establish supremacy and gain a mental edge ahead of the 2015 Rugby World Cup, the number of autumn internationals also highlighting the plight of the smaller unions like Namibia, Tonga and Canada. At the end of this tour, Namibia would have played 6 internationals this year, as opposed to the 12 or 13 test matches played by those countries they'll face at the Rugby World Cup next year.
Our focus point on this tour was, to give everyone in the squad a run and an opportunity to play, and hopefully, to also give them experience, but hopefully, to narrow down the selection for the World Cup next year. It's also the travelling factor that's new to us and new to the players, and obviously at the World Cup, we'll have to move 3 times from base camp. So obviously, taking that into perspective, this is also a preparation for us. The guys having to adapt from one country to another country, also one city to the next city, and obviously, we would like to win every match that we play in. But I mean, that's not the big aim for us. Is getting the players together and to work on the small stuff regarding our play, and to trying to get a bit more flesh around the bone regarding lineouts, scrums, attacking and defence. And we only have this opportunity when in the IRB test windows to do things like that, and obviously giving a few youngsters the opportunity to play big teams and getting the necessary exposure.
It was a major bonus for the Namibian players when, through the initiative of team manager Wessel Kotze, major sports clothing and shoe manufacturer Mizuno came aboard and decided to sponsor the players with boots and training shoes. Most of the players are amateurs and have to pay for their own footwear. This was Christmas coming early for them. A very special moment on the eve of the match against the French Barbarians was a jersey presentation. Former French scrum half Pierre Mignoni was invited to do the honours. Mignoni played 28 test matches for France and is a former teammate of coach Dani Vermeulen at Ducks, where the two forged a close relationship. A special moment indeed for all. Coach Dani Vermeulen named an exciting squad of players to take on the French Barbarians. Fullback Russell van Wyk and centre JC Greyling were to get their first opportunities of the tour after missing out on Namibia's 13-17 defeat to Canada and Wales. The starting 15 showed 6 changes and 1 positional switch to the one that took on Canada. Resplendent in their playing kit, the team photograph, one that will adorn many a mantelpiece in the years to come.
I think this game comes at the right time for us. The coaches can look at some players as well looking forward, and to just to widen our depth, because it is important going into a World Cup. You play 4 or 5 really tough pool matches, and it's important to have your depth right and get a game time for everyone.
Coming up next, highlights from Namibia's match against the French Barbarians and their visit to Portugal. Match day, and an important part of the pre-match rituals is the preparation of the dressing room. While the players are back at the hotel and resting, team manager Wessel Kotze and baggage master Dani van Solms were hard at work preparing the team's dressing room ahead of the test match. For Wessel, it's a labour of love, ensuring that players feel very special ahead of the game.
Most of the preparation has been done before we come on tour, and we've made some inspirational posters, put the players' names on the boards, and then also put up the jerseys and present it well to the players. I think if a player comes into the change room, it must be really something special, because this is his office for the day, and he must be proud of his office.
Stade Félix Maillot, the venue for this match between Namibia and a very strong French Barbarians lineup. A proud day in the history of Namibian rugby. And a tidy crowd had turned out on the chilly Friday evening to watch the two sides get it together. 5 metres out, a good scrum for Namibia. Penalty to Namibia, taken quickly and driving for the line, and the try will be scored. Great thinking by PJ van Lille. He saw the opportunity and had the presence of mind to take the tap penalty quickly and open the scoring for Namibia. The French Barbarians now mauling it up close to the line. Tossed offside. Julian Ledevic doing the work for the Barbarians. They go over. The referee awards the try. And in the heap of bodies, it may well be that it was Rodrigo Caportego. Good presentation of the ball. It comes for the Barbarians to the line. And Jules Plesson gets the try, the fly half, cutting inside and making it 14-7 to the Barbarians. And maybe having to defend again, fed by Jérôme Filot. Outright, coming back inside, Henri Chavancy towards the try line and over the try line, and it's Julian Ledevic who gets the try for the Barbarians. A third try. They really are playing some fantastic rugby football, not entirely in Barbarians fashion, but their strength is in the forwards. The up and under from Tiens Kotze for Namibia. Oh, it's knocked down. Good following up from Stefan Neustadt. Now here's Tiens Kotze, steps inside. Has he got support? He doesn't need it. Lovely try, capitalising on the mistake. Real opportunistic try. And Kotze goes over to keep Namibia very much in this match. Line out time, still in the first half, the Barbarians. So often Barbarians teams aren't able to really get the teamwork going, but this one certainly is working well together, and they go to the line. This time it's Alexandre Bias, the flanker, who crashes over, much to his delight. Half time, it's 28-14 to the Barbarians, who come forward once again, straight up the middle. Florian Fresia, still available for the Barbarians. Slippery Jules Plisson goes for the line, held up but driving on, and it will be there. Good support play from Capa Ortega, and eventually Florian Fresia gets the try. And the win for the French Barbarians by 35 points to 14, the final score in Toulon.
Ek hoop die twee weke het vir julle 'n bietjie gewys met 'n klein bietjie belief. Met 'n klein bietjie belief hoe goed ons regtig is. En ek voel dink partykeer ons doen goed en dan skrik ons onsself so hoogland want Jesus, hoe kan ons nou deel met die superstars? Hoe kan ons vir hulle stamp? Hoe kan ons so maklik druk teen die ouens? Ek trots op elkeen van hulle. Dit was nie 'n perfekte ding, ons nooit verwag gaan perfek wees nie. Maar flip jy, daai ons gaan môre weet hulle het 'n paar tackles gevat. Daai ons gaan weet hulle het die game gehad. Daai ons nie net gekom hier aangekom en 'n paar keer rugby kom speel nie.
Maybe 2 years ago, we would have gotten 80 points against us. So at least, you know, there is some positive. I think the attitude of the players, especially on defence, is better. But still a lot of work to do come 24 September next year.
And that date, the 24th of September 2015, looming large on the Namibian rugby calendar. It is, of course, the day that Namibia will face New Zealand at London's Olympic Stadium in their opening match of the Rugby World Cup. From the French Riviera to one of Portugal's most popular destinations, Carcavelos for the third and final match of the Windhoek Draught Northern Hemisphere Tour against Portugal. One of the features of this leg of the tour was the early morning swims in the freezing cold North Atlantic Ocean. It did wonders for team building, not to mention blood circulation, and of course woke the players up. Those who are still a little on the sleepy side anyway.
Freezing cold, but well worth it. It was awesome. It was baie lekker, so very cold, but this is baie koud. It was really cold. It was top. It was nice. It was baie koud. Koud aanvanklik, maar great. Op die einde, so ek nou net 'n warm bad vat.
3 years ago, Namibia stayed at the same venue when they faced Portugal in their previous encounter. The return to Carcavelos was quite significant for one member of the squad in particular, Rowan Kitshoff. The Western Province loose forward made his debut for Namibia in 2010. Now 4 years and 18 test matches later, Kitshoff has come full circle and proved to be a very popular captain on tour.
So it's actually very exciting to be here again. I remember that day the results didn't go away. So it's actually a great opportunity for us to rectify that, and the next time we come back here, it will be better memories than last time. It's actually quite exciting to see Namibian rugby back in 2010, where it was then and where it is now. I think it's exciting times ahead for the union as well. But for me as a player, it's great to see young guys coming through. There's a lot of older statesmen that does not play anymore today, but a lot of young guys coming through, and that's exciting for the union as well. For me personally, I must say it was great sharing a lot of great memories on tour with these players and just building great friendships. This tour is very important, especially we're playing against European teams, and that obviously the World Cup next year is going to be in England, so the conditions wise is very important for us because that is what we'll face next year. But preparation wise it's very important for us because there's a lot of young guys coming through, as I said, so a lot of those guys get opportunity to stick their hand up and let the coach take notice of them. And yeah, just like as I said, preparation wise it's important for us to get certain things in place to see what works for us and what we still need to work on going forward. We say a lot that a small population mustn't count against us but count for us. So that makes us as a team, makes us a tighter unit, and it brings unity amongst the players as well, knowing that we can only rely on ourselves. We're not as fortunate as other countries with a big playing pool. So the guys that's in the seat at the moment that's on tour know they have a huge responsibility on their hands to make the nation proud. So I think the Namibian rugby, I must say, in general, is making big strides forward. But for me personally, being known as an international player, it is a great privilege. There's only a certain amount of people that can go to a World Cup every 4 years. So being one of those guys, to be able to say I went to a World Cup and have the opportunity to maybe go to one next year again, I think that's a great opportunity and great privilege.
The venue was the University of Lisbon's Sports Centre, and the teams walked out to warm applause. An early penalty by Tiens Kotze gave Namibia a 3-0 lead. Line-out time, Portugal. Oh, clever move at the front of the line-out for Portugal. Thiago Guiaro goes away with it. Picked up by Francisco Majales. Out to Nuno Costa, and straight hard running up the middle by Jose Lima. And the try scored for Portugal. Very, very clever play from the line-out all the way to the try. The second Kotze penalty reduced the lead to just a single point, 7-6. Now Namibia on the attack. Driven up just 12 metres out. De La Harpe looking for an opportunity. He looked right, he goes left. Kotze, show and go. Lovely play by the fly half. Can he go all the way? Good support, and it's Torsten van Jaarsveld who'll go over. What a response from Namibia. They're showing they really are right in this match. Portugal on the attack, winning it at the line-out. Held at the back. They've got to use it, and they'll keep driving. It's in the hands of Thiago Guiaro. The line is beckoning. Surely he will go all the way here. He's being urged on by his fly half Francisco Majales. And over they go. Well, that's brilliant forward driving from Portugal. With some disappointment as Namibia lead by 13-12 at the halftime break. Twisting and turning through the tackles is Guiaro. A standout player for Portugal, the number 8, as they go right now. This is Costa, the fly half, support from Pedro Avila, and the fullback is through. And a suspiciously forward-looking pass, but it's a try that'll stand for Portugal. And they extend their lead. Now, what can Namibia do? Good ball retention there from Kotze, but they've coughed it up in the midfield, and it's available now in the turnover for Portugal. A little kick over the top from Majales. Running back to try and tidy it up. Oh, pouncing on it. Can he get away? Gonçalo Foro, he'll get support, and Avila will get his second try. And that is capitalizing on a poor mistake. Portugal take a 29-13 lead with time running out. Chance now for Namibia. 12 metres out. They really have to score. Can they effect the driving maul, such as that Portugal did earlier in the match that brought their try? Still in possession are Namibia. It'll go to ground. They've got to use it now. Comes away with Emil Buitendag. Through the middle, and look at the running and stepping from Johan Tromp. He will score the try under the crossbar, and Namibia are very much in this. But the clock counted against them, and it was a 29-20 win for Portugal. A devastating blow for Namibia.
Portugal came with the right approach and outsmarted us in some areas. Every game we played, it was with a rugby, something that we're not used to. But I think we had a good taste of it, so I think we learned valuable lessons, and it's something we can build on.
Yeah, we've got quite a few things to work on, especially our continuity after winning the ball. Setting up the ball for the first two phases is fine, but after that you've got to keep your structure, which we didn't do. We also have to work out our communication systems a bit better so that the guys understand each what his specific duty is, and then get a closer link between management and team, and I think that will iron out a bit of the problems.
A disappointing end to the tour for Namibia. They'd started out with high hopes, and after their close defeat to Canada and a competitive performance against the French Barbarians, the belief was there that they could beat Portugal to end a remarkable year on a high note. But it was not all doom and gloom. A A lot was learnt on and off the field, and Namibia will have 10 months to go back to the drawing board. In that period, they'll play 8 matches at home in the Vodacom Cup competition, as well as tests against Kenya and Zimbabwe. The ultimate goal, though, is the 24th of September when they face the All Blacks in London. For now, though, the players will disperse to their clubs in France, the UK, New Zealand and South Africa, and those playing in Windhoek. A short break, and then preparations for 2015 will resume. This program is brought to you by Windhoek Draught, proud supporters of Namibia Rugby.